So, you've got a car. Obviously you want more horsepower and obviously you want more torque. We're going to show you how you can achieve that simply with SCT tuner technology. We're going to be working on a Ford turbo diesel truck a little later on, but first, let's get started with the Shelby GT500.
Before we get started tuning the GT500, let's review how SCT's programmers work. SCT manufactures handheld vehicle programmers that optimize your air-fuel ratio, timing curves, and throttle response for greater horsepower and better fuel economy. These tuners are plug-and-play, meaning they are perfect for the average do-it-yourselfer with little experience tuning. SCT offers preloaded and custom tunable flash programmers. Today we'll be focusing on SCT's 50-state emissions legal preloaded programmer. But if you have a supercharged or highly modified vehicle, SCT has a network of hundreds of custom tuning dealers worldwide that can custom tune your vehicle with an SCT custom tunable device.
So this is the SCT programmer. It's a pretty simple device, but James, how exactly does it work?
The SCT device is a simple programmer, and the way it works is it optimizes your air-fuel ratio and your timing curves by overriding the factory tune file on your vehicle's computer. Installation is simple. You simply plug the device into the vehicle's OBD2 port, select the Program Vehicle option, and follow the prompts on the device. Now there is a couple more functions that we want to cover very quickly. One is if you have any trouble codes. SCT flash devices allow you to read trouble codes as well as clear them. It's just like the high-end devices you might find in an automotive shop, just a whole lot cheaper.
The Shelby GT500 was impressive on the dyno jet. It spun the rollers to 439 horsepower and 426 foot-pounds of torque.
As you can see, we've loaded up the Shelby GT behind me here on the dyno, and James and I are just hanging out getting ready to tune the thing, and we kind of need to now because, well, the thing's no longer stock.
That's right. With the GT500, when you do any modifications, you really have to put a tune in it. We put a cold air intake and a cat back. That means we need to put an SCT tune in it. We've got this SCT flash device that's going to optimize the air-fuel ratio and the timing curves. We're going to make a lot more horsepower, but I'm really excited to see what this will do.
Let's see what we can get.
$507 real horsepower. We picked up a ton of power.
It's a good number.
It's a good number, but the thing is that, remember what I was telling you about the power of the SCT device? Is not only can you load that pre-programmed tune, but you can also slightly adjust it. It's one of those user-adjustable features. So we can tune the air-fuel ratio to make even more power.
All right, well, let's make another run and then we'll take it out in the street.
How'd you do?
Well, we've squeezed out another 3 horsepower and another 4 foot-pounds of torque. It's not bad.
That's stout.
Let's go for a ride. This is where it counts, I guess, out on the open road. Can you feel any difference since we've tuned it?
Well, throttle response is way improved. I can feel it just right off the bat. Just going through each of the gears, even without getting into full throttle, it just got a lot more snap to it.
Yeah.
The thing about the SCT tune-up is that it's pretty much been already thrashed on the dyno. Not only on our dyno, but when they originally developed it, SCT went through and did a lot of testing to optimize the air-fuel ratio. So that's why you're kind of able to pick up free horsepower per se. You know, it's not costing us anything. In fact, we get greater fuel economy, and there's not a whole lot of tools or tunes or parts you can put on your car where you're going to pick up power and gain fuel economy with very little downside. Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the throttle a little bit and see how she pulls.
With over 510 rear wheel horsepower, we were expecting a dramatic difference in the Shelby. The most incredible thing was that the throttle response and drivability was better than stock.
So we finished with the Shelby GT500, which was awesome, and now it's on to this. It's a monster F350 turbo diesel. Now, what we did was basically load it onto the dyno, which was a challenge in itself. This thing is huge. It's a dually, so we barely even got it on there. and basically ran the same process as we did with the Shelby GT500. We got our baseline numbers, started off with 262 horsepower and 415 foot-pounds of torque, which are, you know, respectable numbers, what you'd expect from a truck like this. But we want more torque out of this, as the owner tows around a 20,000 pound RV and he struggles getting up hills sometimes. So what we did was we used SCT tuning, exactly the same as the Shelby GT500. We plugged it in, saved the current state of tune, then uploaded the pre-programmed state of tune that SCT uses. Now we ran the numbers again on the dyno. Now everyone in the shop was very surprised to see an increase of over 100 foot-pounds of torque. We got 520 foot-pounds of torque. We also increased the horsepower by 70.
Between the Shelby and the diesel truck, we picked up way over 100 horsepower simply by optimizing the air-fuel ratio and timing curves using the SCT flash device.
Well, we've had a blast today playing around with two amazing vehicles, but it's the numbers from the dyno that have been so incredible. We had huge horsepower gains on the Shelby GT, but this thing, the F350 with 100 foot-pounds of torque that we didn't know was there. So I think we've proven that SCT is a real-world solution for the Ford, Chevy and Dodge market. My name's Bucko. Thanks for watching PowerTV.